Yo, crypto nation and mining family. Crypto nation and mining family. What's going on? Of course, like always, it's not financial advice. Yo, crypto nation and mining family. What's going on out there? And of course, welcome to the Looking Glass. Do you know what side of the Looking Glass you're on? And yes, I am making an Alice in Wonderland reference here. So, there's two sides of this Looking Glass. There is money and currency. Do you know what the difference is? Let's dig in. So, time and freedom is equal to your wealth. Let me say that again. Time and freedom is equal to your wealth. So your time and the freedom you have to spend with your time should be enough to be able to generate your wealth, putting food on the table, all your basic essential needs for living for you and your family, guys. You trade time for money and you save it until you need something. That's what I was taught to do. I know that's what a lot of people were taught. My grandfather was taught that. This is generational wealth being created here, right? And at some point in time, we all got tricked. How do we get tricked? We got tricked into using the fiat system, currency. This gives the fiat makers the power to steal your two most valuable assets, guys. Your time and your freedom. Because if I steal your time, I've stolen all your freedom. Think about it, guys. This will be the biggest wealth transfer we have seen. Mark my words. Wealth cannot be destroyed, but we can change hands and who has it. That change of hands, this is where our opportunity lies, guys. Education is where you can help get this opportunity. Not by the education of going to school and spending that fiat money faster than you could ever earn it. No. I'm just talking real life education. Stuff like for me. I'm trying to educate you guys for free. And getting this information out to you, allowing you to learn, allowing you to get this stuff in your nugget. You're going to be able to, through education, turn this into an opportunity. I'm telling you. Mark my words. If you are able to just pull information up, just try to figure out how it is that you're going to take advantage of this through education. So, what I mean by educating yourself is by educating yourself on the finances, global economy, and how the bankers work, and how they are in the stocks and how they're stealing from you too. So, I mean, you have the whole global economy that's set up by the government out to get you. Just saying. A lot of people don't understand what money is. When the government has made it hard to understand, it's all public knowledge though, but it's not straightforward in what currency really is. And there are secret sides of it that have been coming out, over the years, little piece at a time. Like how the Federal Reserve is a private corporation that has absolutely nothing to do with the United States government and has been a major thorn in the side of all the American people. Let's just roll this back a little bit. So, the first bit of money that was used 5,000 years ago by the Egyptians. Boom. They had already thought about trying to figure out a unit of account. Think about that. And they were using, what? Were they using fiat? Nope. They were using pieces of gold of different sizes, different purities. It wasn't all that good. It wasn't the best system. It hadn't been standardized yet. So you had, as a merchant, if you were selling something, you had to sit there and figure out if that gold was pure gold, fool's gold, how heavy it was, and was the value of that gold worth the goods you were selling. I mean, before that, it was all barter trade. Everything was barter trade. I have 3 fish, you have 3 coconut, let's trade. 3 for 3, like for like, right? Then they started realizing that, well, the 3 fish did you more good than the 3 coconuts did. So now you have this detachment of what value really was. So now you had to figure out a new way to account for this. That was gold, guys. Gold. So you have to evaluate it every bit. That's when you start having issues with, well, this person on this side of town took this little chunk for that. Why can't you? And that merchant's gonna be like, it took me more time to get it. My time's worth more money. So you need to hand over a little more. So now we had to sit there and standardize this stuff. But in the process of trying to standardize this, you have to kind of step back and think of it. Do you understand currency and money? So currency is a medium of exchange, a unit of account. So it's a medium of exchange. I can hand this to you. That's the exchange, right? It's a unit of account. In other words, it's got a number on here. So I can tell how much this is, right? Now this is just currency. It's divisible. Yeah. I can make change for 20 single dollar bills. Ooh. That sounds a little interesting, right? I can make change with this. It's portable. I can put this in my pocket and go everywhere I want with it. Not an issue, right? I'm just saying. It's fungible. And you guys might not know what fungible means. It's okay, I didn't know either for a long time. So fungible means that it's interchangeable. In other words, if I pull this $20 bill out of my pocket and you pull another one out of your pocket, they're the same. They're interchangeable. $20 bill here is a $20 bill over here. Boom, right? Money itself, gold, silver, Bitcoin, has one other feature. Has all of those features: a medium of exchange, a unit of account, portable, divisible, durable. Well, this isn't so durable, but that's kind of why I didn't really say it with the currency. I'll get back to that in a second. So it's divisible, it's fungible, and it's got one other added value, and it's the biggest one of them all. It actually has a store of value. In other words, you can't print it away. Just saying. And even the bankers don't understand this aspect. The bankers will argue that this is money. This is durable. If I rip this in half, is that durable? Can I rip gold in half? Sounds like gold's a little bit more durable than this. If I can rip this in half with my bare hands, and I've got to get a press or a saw or a knife of some sort to cut gold in half. I don't see how they can sit there and say that it's a store of value either. When the government is printing more, if I print $1, it means that this is 1% less valuable. So it's not a store of value if you can endlessly print it. That's another topic. I'll get to that in a second too. These are all concepts that the banks do not understand. They will argue with you, saying that fiat is more money than gold that was money for thousands of years. But who am I? I'm just a boob tuber. I don't know anything, right guys? But getting back to the $20 bill. So like I was saying, it's got all those things in there. It's medium of exchange, a unit of account, somewhat durable. So if I put this into the ground, as is, no protection on there, do you think I'd find any piece of it in a year's time? Especially if I put it into a soil that's got a lot of earthworms in it. You think the earthworms wouldn't turn this into earth? Oh. So, to me, this isn't very durable. I can rip it up and make origami out of it. I can put this into a fire. And if I put this into a fire, I will never get this value back. But if I burn enough of these, I make the fiat currency a little less inflationary. But I couldn't by myself do that enough times to help everybody. Impossible. It's definitely divisible and fungible, but what it's not a store of value. Like I said, because the government's endlessly printing it. Every time they print another one of these, they're diluting the ones that are in your pocket by a percentage, And then it also takes your buying power and gives it to the banks and the government, guys. You want to hear me rant about that one? Oof. Give me a second. Gold. Why is gold, silver, and Bitcoin real money? It's an easy medium of exchange because it stores a lot of value in a small area. Gold, small coins, right? Or small little pieces, however you got it, has a lot of value in a small little chunk. I can sit there, put Bitcoin on here. So a little USB device can have a little storage, this mass storage, a store of value. Same thing with silver. Another good store of value. Not this dirty fiat, right? It's a unit of account. So pure gold, pure silver, and Bitcoin are the same all over the world. The Bitcoin here in the U.S. is the same as in China, Russia, Georgia, wherever you are. Bitcoin here is the same as the Bitcoin you have. The gold I have here, that's pure gold. Pure gold is the same pure gold that's in any other country. Pure gold is pure gold. I'm just saying. It's divisible. You can make change with gold. I can take a knife, pop, take a chunk, and give that back to you as change, right? I can do the same thing to silver. You're like, wait a minute, but Bitcoin, you can't do that to Bitcoin? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So the smallest unit of account for a Bitcoin, is a Satoshi, guys. I'm just saying. It's durable. We're like, gold? If I put gold in the ground today and came back to it in a year, the gold would be in one piece. If I put this $20 bill in the ground for 1 year, I might find a little corner of it left, right? If I put Bitcoin onto a USB device, it's as durable as the internet, guys. So as long as there is internet and electricity, so as long as we haven't been knocked back into the Stone Age, we're all good, right, guys? And it's like, now let me just put it like that too. Like Bitcoin, if we were to be knocked back into the Stone Age, money is not going to be your issue. You're going to be more worried about how you're going to put food on your table for your family. I'm just saying. You're going to be more worried about putting a roof over your family's head. You might not care about it, what happens to you, but you're going to care about your family. I'm just saying. It's portable and it's fungible, so I can transfer it around. I can bring it around with me. Now, gold and silver, I can't bring a lot of it unless I've got a few people to carry it for me. So we're not talking easily portable, but it's still portable. I can still put gold in my pocket and walk around. I'm just saying. I can put gold around my neck like a lot of people do. People wear gold rings. I'm just saying, everybody gets married at some point. Well, not everybody. A lot of people get married and they end up wearing gold rings. I'm just saying. So, with that being said, then gold, silver, and Bitcoin are very portable, very fungible, because you can bring it around. You can wear it everywhere you go. And I could sit there and put this onto a keychain. They make keychain ones. This one's not a keychain one. This one would go in my pocket. But again, I could put all my Bitcoin, if I wanted to, onto here and go anywhere in the world. So we're portable, we're fungible, I could transfer it, blah, 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 blah. Done, right? And it's a limited supply. And stable purchasing power. So gold and silver are a limited supply. There's only so much gold and so much silver stored in our planet. Unless we sit there and go onto a comet or an asteroid or whatever and start mining out that way, we're not getting more gold and silver on this planet. I'm sorry. What we have here is what we're stuck with, which means that it is limited in supply, which once you limit the supply, you stabilize the purchasing power. Now, Bitcoin is starting to get to that point. Now, it does have a limited supply. There's only 21 million that'll ever be made. But it's so early on right now, you're having a little bit of price fluctuations. Now, you might think, oh, that's a lot of price fluctuations. Well, believe it or not, fiat swings just as hard on a day-to-day basis too. It's just that because we only here in the United States, we only transact in this, so we see $20 and we see $20. We don't see we don't see $19.3. No, we see $20. What we see on our end is that, oh, yesterday that ice cream sandwich was $1. Today it's $1.50, but the $20 bill remains the same, right, guys? So that's why I don't think that this has the stable purchasing power myself. That's just me. And fiats all over time go to zero. Here comes on the little last portion of my rant. So fiats all go to zero. 100% failure rate. There hasn't been a fiat that has proven it otherwise. All go to zero. There's a person a long time ago that had started doing a study on fiat. So they started off with all the currencies that were started with the letter A. Can you guess what they all did? Yep. They all went to zero. Every one of them. All the currencies that started with the letter A. So the guy started up with B. He gets about halfway through and stops. Goes back to his boss and says, dude, all the currencies that I've been researching all went to zero. All of A and half of B. You want to know how many currencies that detailed? 600 currencies. 600 currencies, and not one survived. All of A, half of B. Can you believe that? All those currencies, 600 of them, all went to zero. Why? Because they were not backed by gold or silver. There was nothing stopping them from printing it into the ground. We can go all the way back to the Roman era. The Romans showed us what hyperinflation first really looks like. But that's another rant on itself, right, guys? I mean, watching the past, the past doesn't tell you what the future is, but it sure rings a tone, right? They are real close. Just saying. So here it is again. We have taken ourselves off of a gold standard and started taking little snippets to increase the currency supply. And they think that we're not going to go to zero. And I think it's because they think they can go up to the Federal Reserve and go, yo, we need some more money. Can you print us some more money? And they're like, yo, we could do that. We've been doing that since 1913, decreasing your buying power by 90% since 1913. That was amazing. That was like the greatest trick ever. How do you get wealthy people to make the hardworking people that the country's founded on, transferring more money from them into the rich people's pockets? Well, you just start printing it. You just print it, print it, print it. Currency used to be a gold note. Used to be. Not no more, guys. So this used to sit there, say payable on demand. Used to say gold note on here. I've seen the notes before. I've seen them in museums. Not in person. Not anybody that used one. I don't know anybody that actually held on to a real treasury note that was for gold. And even if you have one today, let's say your family held on to one. Your family should have actually gotten their gold a long time ago. You're never going to see your gold. Sorry. Government decided that they were going to steal it from the world when they took us off the Bretton Woods system. But that's a different conversation there too, right, guys? So, I mean, $20 used to be $20 worth of gold. Not no more. And money must be a store of value over a long period of time. This doesn't have it. If I bury this in the ground as is, it won't be there in 2 years. It'll be gone. The bugs will eat it. And as I dive in, I hope you learn more about the currency and that it's a tool for the government to put holes in your bucket, to leak out your money, taking with it your time and your freedom by stealing your purchasing power, guys. This is what all governments are doing to everybody every day. While you save, the government takes with endless printing. Now gold, silver cannot be printed at all. It can be dug up, so it takes work. It's not just roll it, click, and things start printing. Gold and silver takes heavy machinery and a lot of manpower to dig it out of the ground. And you have to know where to look for it. It's not everywhere. It's not like you're going to sit there and go into your backyard, dig a hole, and pull up a nugget that's going to, cause you instant wealth tomorrow. Not happening. Unlike like the rest of the world, we all are going to be working, trading our time for money. And at least I hope you're trading it for money and not currency. Unfortunately, we all are kind of on that currency game train, right? Getting drunk on currency. So, the checks and balances in the governments are with the backings of gold. But they took that away. Governments don't like gold because it stops them from endlessly printing money. And it holds them accountable for their forever wars. There are people that are born in the last 30 years that have always seen a war. There are people that have been born in the last 10 years that they've only lived in war. What does the future have to hold for us on the forever wars? Endless printing, which means that the governments don't have to be held accountable for spending billions of dollars in wartime efforts that doesn't benefit anybody. It hurts innovation. It stops the flow of goods in the right directions. It stops e-commerce. Without the movement of goods, the economy stagnates out and slowly withers away. Going back to that fiat system, going to zero. That's what they're going to do. And they, 200 years, they've created $800 billion worth of fiat. They're going to double that in a fraction of the time. A fraction of the time, guys. They're going to be sitting there printing trillions. And it's not going to be an issue until it's an issue, right, guys? So a lot of people don't even understand that that's what's happening, is that the money printing, aka inflation, is putting a big drain on the hardworking people like you and me. I'd like to take a quote from Milton Friedman. What he defined as inflation. Inflation is the expansion of the currency supply, while the contraction is the deflation of the currency supply. And he also went on to say that inflation, now I understand that he was probably talking about other things, but I could take this into context. He put in there with inflation, it is always everywhere, always and everywhere, a monetary phenomenon. That's what his quote was. Now I took it as with the monetary phenomenon, the expansion will always be there everywhere. You look at any part of the monetary policy and you will see everywhere where it's inflating at. Nothing deflating, no contraction. These are going to be issues for us in the future. And I think that we will see it in our lifetime. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick to it. Then you go into my favorite part, quantitative easing. This is what the government calls permanent money printing. They can do whatever they want now. The QE1 in 09, quantitative easing part 1. Actually, I think that was like a little bit before. Yeah, that was actually a little bit before. So quantitative easing part 1 was them sitting there inflating some of the money because they saw an issue. And they saw a potential crash. So they tried to nip it in the butt a little early. And then they had quantitative easing 2. This was in 09. This is when the banks got bailed out, guys. And to the banks, this was the best thing for them ever, right? Because now they didn't have to worry about the bad debts. The government just printed them out of it. Because, like, the banks don't hold any money, really. That's why if you go, hey, I want $3,000 in my money so I can go buy something, you got to give them a 24-hour notice. Why? Why, you might ask, huh? Because they don't even have that in the bank, guys. That's how horrible the system is. That's how much they are defrauding the U.S., how they're defrauding the world. We have to sit there and see banks like the Deutsche Bank going insolvent first to sit there and be the canary in the coal mine. Think about it. Germany has got negative interest rates, which means that if I put $100 in their bond in 10 years, I'll get $90 back. Why would I want to store my value with an insolvent government, with insolvent banking structures that they are not willing to change the monetary policy to fix anything? Because in order to change the monetary policy to fix anything, they would have to relinquish power and control. But that's my opinion. And then whenever we did the quantitative easing for the banks, what did the banks do? Did they pay back their loans? No. Did they give people lower interest rates? Nope. Nope. You want to know what they did do? Because they're so insolvent, and we just gave them free money, and that money came from you, me, my brothers, my mom, my dad, all my buddies, all of your family. We gave them money for free for destroying the economy. We gave them more money for doing wrong, for doing nefarious acts, for doing things that the common people, me and you, would be demonized for. People would be looking for our heads. They would be like, they need to be imprisoned, they need to be brought to justice, but we gave them money. Think about that, guys. We handed them money. And what did they do with it? Really, guys? You want to know? They gave themselves bonuses. They gave themselves pay raises, a reward system for destroying the economy, for writing out bad loans. They gave themselves pay raises for it. All on our dime, guys. Every bit of it, our dime. You want to know how you can stop them from taking your dimes? Gold, silver, and Bitcoin. These are just opinions, though. But the crisis, guys, the crisis is coming. It will be here. It's just a matter of time. And we will see the rising prices on goods while our wages all stay the same. This is by design. You cannot have the upper echelon siphoning money going up and put anything back down. The money they want to keep. These are old oligarchies that are sitting there in power, stripping the family businesses that they have. Typically, it takes 3-4 generations before whatever family's wealth is gone. You have a few of these families that, with the help of the government, are able to hold on to it while sitting there and putting themselves more and more and more into debt. You have all the auto manufacturers that are doing this. You have all the banks that are doing this. And what will happen in the long run? There will be a breaking point. There will be another yellow vest movement, guys. This is just the beginning. You can call the yellow vest movement the canary in the coal mine, guys. Basically, what ends up happening is if the blue-collar workers, me and you, because there's no poor people anymore, it's all blue-collar workers and the wealthy, 20%. 20% versus all of us, basically. I mean, think about it, guys. So since they've figured out how to keep your money the same amount, you don't make any more money. Why? Because there's somebody out there willing to do your job for a little less money until they get into your position, and then it's a vicious cycle. This guy's willing to do it less. This guy wants to be paid the right amount. And then this guy goes, I'll do it. This guy goes, I quit. He changes into it. And then he goes, oh man, this is more work than I was expecting. This is not worth the pay rate. I need more money. So he goes from a pay rate of here to expecting the pay rate here where the guy that quit was. Think about it. And each time he tries to get up here, he misses the mark by a little bit every single time, and the wages go down while price of living keeps going up, guys. Just saying. So you had, your quantitative easing part 1, which was the government going, here, take some money, everybody. And they gave everybody free money in their taxes. Quantitative easing part 2 was them bailing out the insolvent banks. Quantitative easing part 3 is going to be them infinitely printing money for all of their rich buddies. Watch, guys. Watch how this works. And as they do this, the price of goods goes up. And I'm not talking my TV, my alcoholic beverages, my car, gas. Forget all of that stuff. Forget these stupid technological advancements. Forget all of that. At what point in time do you, I'm talking to all of you out there, what point in time do you think you're going to stand up and revolt? Is it going to be whenever you're spending 30% of your pay on food? 35%? How about 50% of your pay goes to putting food on your table? You can't have anything go wrong. You can't get sick, because if you get sick, you're bankrupt. Because you don't make enough money. You're spending too much on food. We haven't even gotten to you having a family. We're just talking about you by yourself. Half of your pay is going to go to food eventually. And through history, we have seen that this is when the revolutions happen. When people have that disconnection between them working hard and providing for their family. Working hard here, providing for the family. And then you have working hard, and then providing for your family, providing from your family, providing from your family, until it takes two people over here income to, provide here. And then that starts to drop down. And then you're going to have your kids work. And then you're going to have to be like, yo, you can't go to school. I need you to go get a job. How badly does it need to get before the population stands up against the government and says, yo, enough's enough with this money printing. You need to be held accountable for it. That's where gold, silver, and Bitcoin come in. This is where I make my argument of you need gold, silver, and Bitcoin. Just an opinion of mine, of course. Just the argument, I'm not telling anybody what to do whatsoever. But if you want to sit there and protect yourself from the future and help provide for you and your family, you might want to start researching it. Research it, guys. Research Bitcoin. Go on to bitcoin.org. Research it. Look into it. We all know what gold and silver are. We know that gold and silver are good money. Has always been good money. But now you need to sit there and start thinking about Bitcoin. Look into it, guys. And while you're looking into it, drop some comments in down below. Let me know what you think of this video. What's your thoughts on it? Do you have any, do you agree, disagree, anything like that? I would love to know what you guys' comments are. I would love to continue this conversation down below. And with that, like always, oh shoot, forget about it like always. While you're down there, hit the bell notification, subscribe, share these videos with everybody. And if you know anybody that doesn't understand the difference between currency and money, please share this video with that person. It might change their life. I'm just saying. I'm here to help all of you level up your monetary game. And with that, guys, I'll definitely see you all on the next one. Peace.